G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing as the Chinese in the color red, representing Izzy Esports, it's Marine Lord. And on the opposite side of the map, playing in the English as the blue, ladies and gentlemen, it's Puppy Paw, and take a look at what we've got here. It is back, the Age 1 Rax. It is coming down. He put this down with every single villager. I don't know if you guys saw that. They were all right there. Bam, bam, bam. We've got ourselves a little bit of a drush coming in. If you don't know what a drush is, well, that is a Dark Age rush. I guess you could call it a drush instead of a drush. But the Age of Empires 2 guys, they call it a drush. So that's what we're going to be calling it. Now, one of the key things to do when you're doing a drush is to actually scout where your enemies' resources are. Because you can see at the moment, we've got a men-at-arms moving through across the map. So typically, I guess this is something that I liked to do when I was doing a drush. I would just move my scout across the map directly at my enemy's base, because as you move across the map, you're most likely going to be picking up, look at this, 3 wolves in the middle of the map. Imagine if you walk into those 3 wolves, you got absolutely no idea about them, just hanging out. God, can you imagine that? If you walked into that, it's basically, you know, drush over at that point. But yeah, the man-at-arms going to be coming through here. Now, the best spot for him to hit is going to be this gold. There's a great little spot here. If he can actually get out onto the gold, you can see if that man-at-arms knew where he was going, because right now he's got nothing. He's playing in the dark. But we got the second one moving across. Oh my lord. Hello, hello, hello. Well. If it isn't my little friend, fortunately, he's got lots of armor, so he's only taking 1 damage. He's going to actually have to kill these, otherwise he... Hey, don't say I didn't tell you, Puppy Paw. Don't say I didn't tell you. And look, down here to the south, I mean, he's just still chilling out. So we've gone with a drush, but really it feels like it's a little bit of a Dark Age slow attack, isn't it? It's not really. He lost 30 health off that single man-at-arm. How about that running into 3 wolves? Luckily, that wasn't a villager. If that was a villager, 100% death right there. But, yeah, I mean, he could have gotten here. Look at this, 39-24. You still technically can get it in, because essentially what you would do is, let's say the man-at-arms comes that starts hitting this villager, you drop off with the villager and then move it back to, you know, the mill, somewhere safe, and then you move out another villager from food out onto gold. So, look, you can deal with that Dark Age rush, but it's just very annoying, especially if you're thinking about going for, like, a Song Dynasty or something like that, which it seems like Marine Lord might be doing. He's starting to stack up gold. At the moment, you can see he's past that 200 mark. He's also going to have the look at that, men-at-arms coming in from either side. Like, there we go. You know, it's always the last one, isn't it? You know, they came in on that angle and they're like, they both met right here on the gold mine. It's like, yeah, you know, it wasn't right here, the gold mine, was it? No, it had to be right there. Very, very typical. But Age Up going to be coming through for Marine Lord shortly. You'd expect with something like this, you'd be thinking about a Barbican, probably right here. Guarantees the safety of the berries as well as the gold. The issue that he's going to have with is this stone outcropping, but he may not be looking for a second TC. There has been people coming forward and going for 1 TC China plays recently. We may see that today. You know, there was a famous, I remember Beastie in his China guide, he's like, don't even bother with 1 TC China. It's absolutely terrible. Do not do it. So, who knows? Maybe Marine Lord looks to be absolutely terrible today. I mean, when I see a Barbican like this, it makes me think he's not going to be looking to go for any early units or something like that. When it comes to second TCs, he may look to go for a little bit of a delayed second TC. That could be it. So, I guess in this position, I'd be thinking maybe I want to go for a stable just to deal with the men-at-arms. The stable also going to deal very effectively with any of the longbows that will inevitably come out here. Now, I suspect Puppy Paw probably going to be putting down his landmark right about here. Let's see. It's a perfect spot. There it is. Beautiful little position there for Puppy Paw. So a stable here is really going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, you take out the men-at-arms, you also are able to take out the longbows and force away some spearmen. Now, obviously, your enemy's already got the barracks up, so they can deal with all the issues, but we do now see more villagers moving out to gold. So Marine Lord going to be going up to that dynasty. Very important to hit. Barbican, thinking about hitting that Vanguard men-at-arms. Age Up at 427. And the stable going to be coming down straight away. So definitely the correct move here for Marine Lord. Now, you might be thinking, all right, well, stable, it's not that good because he's got the barracks out already. He can just start making spearmen. Well, think about it like this. How fast is a horseman? How fast is a spearman? The spearmen are never going to be able to engage the horsemen. They might get a tag on it occasionally, but they're never actually going to be able to fight them mono-y-mono. So don't think of it like that, but it's definitely a worthwhile investment. And we actually see Puppy Paw on the other side of the map going for a second TC himself. Look at this. So perhaps the meta is indeed shifting towards this 2 TC model that we are seeing more and more of. At the same time, the men-at-arms just camping up the stone outcropping. What do we see from Marine Lord? I'd love to see just a Song Dynasty, but it doesn't even look like he's really going for it. It's just a very heavy focus now on the cavalry. He's looking to clear out this position. We'll be able to move through here, trying to bait it in towards the Barbican, and you can see at the same time, he's got the men-at-arm on hold ground. A little bit of a twin attack up here towards the north. Double cav now up here against the double men-at-arm. Doesn't look like any real decent kiting coming out. There we go, Marine Lord now pulling that one men-at-arms, or one horseman back. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to be just pulling it back so you're getting free hits with the second one, because you don't want to be losing your horseman like this. And now he's going to let the last one clean it up. There he goes. So he manages to keep that one alive. Decent little fight there. He's got 3 horsemen out. And this is all you need, right? Because by having these horsemen out on the map, you're going to force a response from your enemy. You're going to force a response with spears, and you also have the potential to deny that second TC. So now we know that there's a second TC coming up. Puppy Paw has gathered up plenty of stone here. And this did get scouted out by Marine Lord, I think. I want to say I think. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I think we may have had a sacrificial scout duel over towards that east side of the map. You can see the sheep is still standing there. Indeed, there was a sacrifice. Both scouts going down at the same time, I suspect. But already, villager out on the other side of the map, looking at a bit of an outpost crawl. Spearman out. Got to be careful not to fight with them. And indeed, he does pull back, but already forcing the spears out. And now Puppy Paw going to be able to move out across the map, look to reinforce that position that he's got over there, that little outpost that's already beginning to build. Song Dynasty now going to be coming through from Marine Lord. Archery range also going to get dropped down here. Now, the question is whether he goes for Chukunu. In this matchup, I'm not really a fan of the Chukunu. And one of the big reasons why is because the longbow has got such a huge range, 7 tiles of range. And it is a... It's got the exact same speed as the Chukunu. So if ever they get into, a decent range, the Chukunu are always just going to be getting kited. And it makes it very difficult. Look at a heads-up battle. They will beat the longbow, but it's very rare you get that heads-up battle. It's always just going to be constant kiting, because a lot of these English players are quite good, quite talented when it comes to micro. But now those units, we see them beginning to sit on the outskirts of the base. Song Dynasty comes in 7 minutes 25. Definitely pretty late. This is about 2 minutes late. Typically, you'd love to have this at about 5 minutes on the dot. But we do see quite a late Song Dynasty here for Marine Lord, which is, you might not think that that's a big deal, but think about it like this. Every minute, the town center is training 3 villagers, right? Well, with Song Dynasty, it's actually training more than that. It's training 4 and close to 4.5. So technically, he's behind by about 3, maybe even 4 villagers at this point from where he should be. And obviously, with an idle TC, it falls even further behind. But now we see the second TCs starting to go down. Marine Lord is indeed looking to do the same thing. Chukunu has moved out, trying to take out the spearman here. Not going to have a lot of luck. The longbow is looking to try and defend it, but still got a lot of health to get through. At the same time, on the other side of the map, town center is now going up for Puppy Paw. So that second TC, and it's forward on a hunt, which is something that you don't often see. Very rarely do you see English players look to take the natural resources other than the wood. Typically the gold, all they really care about is like their main gold and maybe like a secondary gold. Other than that, it's relics, baby. It is your classic. Don't forget it right now, Drongo. It's enclosures. The tech down here, that classic English tech, one of the best techs in the game. Honestly, now that I think about it, I should start rating the unique techs. Because to me, that's an S tier tech. I genuinely think that's an S tier unique tech. We could get all of them out. You know what? That's going to be the best. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a video on that. All the unique techs. I mean, it's probably not going to be all of them, but because now that I think about it, there's probably a lot. Especially with the new civilizations coming in, there's going to be a whole bunch. Just the Abbasid techs alone are huge. But who knows? We could think about it. But Puppy Paw, he's done well so far to establish a little beachhead. Down here, he's got the outpost with the arrow slits, doing a great job of just poking in and out. This is what I was talking about. The problem with going Chokunu in this matchup is that they're not very fast. And because they're not fast, you're never going to be able to catch up and get on top of the longbowmen. If you just go archers, normal archers, as China in this matchup, I'm a big fan of that, because you've got a much faster movement speed. You're actually able to catch the longbowmen and really punish them. In this matchup, you can just go 100% archers, and it does quite well. Second TC has come up now for Marine Lord. Now, you might be wondering, hold on a minute, why has he got this TC in this position? This is kind of weird. There's no resources around here. Well, so the reason is because typically as China, you're not going to want to have town centers on resources. You want to have your production or your collection buildings on the resources, like the mill, like the lumber camp. And the reason why is because you can then supervise those. Now, we don't actually see any more Imperial officials coming out. We've only got the one for now. But you can see how he's moving out towards this. This is going to buff up his collection. So by supervising it, it's going to increase the resources out here by 20%. Instead of that being a 15 drop-off, that was an 18 drop-off. That's pretty big. And that really starts to add up, especially because it delays the farm transition. You think about it, right? Like you've got, let's say, 1,500 food out here, and all of a sudden you're throwing out an extra 20% on that. That's 1,800 food. So you're getting an extra 300 food for free. Damn well bloody nice. Battering ram now coming out for Marine Lord. You'd like to see a +1 range attack coming through as well. He's going to be going for +1 range defense here. Another curious decision. He gets a huge advantage by having the ranged attack with the Chokunu. So Chokunu, they do little repeater attacks, which means they go bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. So they do a burst of 3, which means that getting +1 actually increases their damage by 3 per volley, which is kind of big. But we'll check in over with Puppy Paw, see how he's doing. Everything looking well for him so far. He's got the mill down, a couple of farms around it, continuing just to work on the natural resources, and he's starting to think a little bit about a castle age, I suspect, here. Halfway up on the gold, almost halfway up on the food as well. Done a great job in isolating this initial hunt as well, unfortunately, in the front of the base. But we did see that, obviously, his own hunt was in the front of the base as well. But now we've got walls coming up. Take a look at these walls right here. Puppy Paw just walling up the entire, or rather, Marine Lord walling up the entire map. Now, when it comes to... Well, never mind. We'll talk about that a little bit later because we got ourselves a cleanup on our number 3 over here. Speaking of 3s, 3 longbowmen just going down. And 3 more ready to sacrifice themselves for the cause. Battering ram going to be moving in. Spearman going to have to make a decision. Do we kill the battering ram or do we kill the horseman? And I think that's part of Marine Lord's greatest strategy. So definitely a wise move here. Still no arrow slits back on this this next tower. The next thing I was going to talk about was just with regard to town centers and production. So Song Dynasty produces villages much quicker. We know that already. 13 seconds a pop compared to the 20 seconds over here for our English player, which means that, you know, after, say, 5 minutes, you're going to have a pretty big villager difference. You know, 2 TCs versus the equivalent of 3 TCs. It's really going to start to stack up. But where the English player will make it balance out a little bit is they're going to be aging up with the King's Palace. And King's Palace is going to act as, well, not just act, it's going to be that third town center that they need. So at the moment, the villager count for Marine Lord, 66 compared to 49 for Puppy Paw. But remember, at the moment, you know, Marine Lord's running away from him. Puppy Paw will eventually catch up with that same pace once that landmark does come down, and we do see the King's Palace is going to be coming down now. You can also expect from our English player that there's going to be a monastery drop down quite early on in the piece, and he'll look to try and grab a whole bunch of relics out on the map. So that's the way that he's going to try and catch up. Well, not necessarily catch up with the Chinese economy, but keep up with the Chinese economy, because at this point in time, you know, we can still see there's about an 18 villager lead here, which is quite substantial, but it will just remain 18 villagers until those relics start getting picked up, and that's when the gap will really start to get closed. And that's going to be, you know, it's going to be very dependent on whether he's actually able to pick those relics up or not. Marine Lord, though, for the moment, he's looking like he might just be staying in feudal. Not a lot of food production, I say, as he's got 54 villagers currently on food. You know, one of the things I wanted to also talk about is I really feel like China's become probably the biggest food-heavy civ that there is now. I can't think of a civilization that needs food more than China. You're pumping out villagers non-stop. Your typical combo is horsemen as well as spearmen. So it makes a lot of sense for China to invest heavily in that farm transition, you know, with the granaries and whatnot early on. Because if you're able to do that, if you're able to pull ahead with those, then you can support a massive amount of units just non-stop coming in. The Puppy Paw now, he's reached the 3rd age. King's Palace is up. And indeed, it's going to be knights that are his decision. Still, we are yet to see a monastery being dropped down at this point. His economy looking pretty damn decent, though. 60 villagers at the moment. Compare that over to the 81. Now, keep in mind, there's also 4 imperial officials in that, so it's 81. It's not really. It's 77. So there's still a pretty, you know, it's a short difference between them. But now that horseman going to be moving out with the scout as well. Horseman and scout. Looking for, yeah, he comes in here and he thinks twice about it, and I think that's probably a good idea. You're only going to be losing units. You're not going to be doing much. The villagers are just going to be pulled back individually. These are not knights. These are just horsemen, and they will die a very, very quick death. Age up coming through now for Marine Lord. It's going to be, I'm suspecting it was, indeed it is, the Astronomical Clock Tower. And he moves into the Nest of Bees. So definitely a wise choice here going into Nest of Bees. Typically, against the English in this matchup, Spearman plus Nest of Bees is going to be absolutely amazing. Throwing in a few Horsemen and Fire Lancers as well, always going to be great. We can see here he's going into Veteran Horsemen, actually looking to get Veteran Chukunu, which is kind of, I'll say, a little bit weird. I feel like Chukunu have got two very strong points. The first strong point is early feudal or even late feudal, I guess, as long as they've got that +1 ranged attack. That's their strong point. And then their second strong point is like post-imperial, when you've got every single upgrade for them. I'm talking incendiary arrows, I'm talking +3 range attack, and of course the elite upgrade as well. Once you've got all of those, that's when, you know, your Chukunu are all of a sudden, you know, they're back out and they're back strong. Except in this matchup, because of the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms for the English, incredibly potent, just because of armor cladding. Gives them an extra 2 ranged armor over, you know, what your standard men-at-arms would have. So it makes it very difficult to actually kill them. But now the Knight going to be coming through. A little bit of an overchop on the wood line. Not that it was really intentional. He was trying to wall this one out. You can see he's done a pretty decent job. But now Villager's going to be moving up to the next wood line. Chukunu going to be coming back for the Knight. He's got 6 damage on these bad boys. So going to be doing 2 damage a pop here. The equivalent of 6 damage from each Chukunu. So he does have to fall back and respect this. And indeed he does. But now those walls coming up. Marine Lord moving out, looking to... I was going to say looking to supervise, but no, he's not even going to be supervising out here. Does have Imperial Examination, so he's going to just be looking to pick up some gold at the long range here. We'll check in now with Puppy Paw, how he's doing. The monastery is up. It is established. He's looking to pick up those relics around the map. We'll have a look and see whether Marine Lord going to be doing the same thing. For the most part, it doesn't seem like it. I don't see a monastery coming up just yet, but I do remind you guys, I am legally blind. That's a joke. There it is. There it is. Oh, Lord. I bet it was on the screen the whole time. Yeah, it was. Look at it. It's sitting right there. I'm legally blind. They're telling me I'm the getaway driver. How can I drive a car if I'm legally blind? Oh, it's a great meme. That's an old school meme. But speaking of old school meme, it looks like at the moment these Chukunu might be old school if they're not careful. You can see that the Knight's trying to clean them up, but the Chukunu doing a pretty decent job. He's got +2 in. That's going to make the difference here. No ranged armor at all on the side of Puppy Paw, which is definitely a little bit of an oversight. In fact, he's got no upgrades whatsoever just yet. Only +1 coming in just now. I can't help but feel that's a little bit late. These relics starting to get picked up as well. We've got the first one in for Marine Lord. Second one also going to be coming in on the way of Puppy Paw. Leaves 3 remaining out on the map. One down here to the south, one up here to the north, but this one down to the south about to get picked up. And there is a third one out, or a fifth one, I guess you could say, out here somewhere. But I got no idea where it is. I don't know who's picked it up. Perhaps it's up towards the north. I got no idea. It's bound to be. It's here. There it is. The reason I know it's there is because the sacred site went off. Chukunu now looking to try and fight up against these units. It's just going to be an exchange of cavalry. He continues running away. He's searching for it. He's like, tell me where that damn monk is. Give me that relic back. He's coming in tow. Now we've got the men-at-arms. Springled also going to be coming out. We enter into the cinematic mode as it looks like it's time to blast some arse. And indeed, Puppy Paw, realizing that the arse blaster's out, decides to head back to the other side of the map where his arse remains unblasted. I feel like that's a big water pistol, isn't it? The arse blaster, like Arse Blaster 3000. You know what? I'm probably quoting an adult film, so I'm just going to stop that. We'll go back. We'll talk about something else. Let's move forward. Look at this archery range that's coming out right now from Marine Lord. This is something that you don't regularly see out of the Chinese. You don't see a castle age archery switch. I don't know, maybe Marine Lord's onto something here as the third relic does indeed get picked up. We'll check in with the villager count as he begins climbing towards that 200 mark. He's at 122 versus the 100 of Puppy Paw. So Puppy Paw is keeping up with him. Marine Lord obviously ahead the whole time, about 20 villagers, and that really starts to stack up though. Battering ram moving out as the Nest of Bees begins to help out with a little bit of fire. Outpost's going to go down, and so is that line of sight. It's going to make it a bit more difficult, and we see more battering rams getting produced for the moment. Nest of Bees moving forward. Nest of Bees moving forward. Watch out, watch out, watch out. The Nest of Bees swooping and looming and looking. Not going to be able to find anything today. Look at this. The uncontested Nest of Bees. Literally fearless bees right now. Puppy Paw just gonna run away from it. The Spearman gonna be turning around as well. Chukunu pushing up, and Puppy Paw in a little bit of trouble. We're gonna have to enter the cinematic mode shortly as the first of the Springald comes out. It's only gonna be the one for now. There's so much damn siege here. A lot of units getting cleaned up. Cinematic mode, here she comes, baby. We're also gonna be taking off all that UI. Get it out of here. Here we go, as the Springald gets chased away. Men-at-Arms or Palace Guards doing a decent job, but now there's even more Palace Guards coming out. No crossbows here at all. A little bit of a flankaroonie coming in from the east side. Make sure you watch out for that. The town center's gone down. Nest of Bees looking for the longbows, looking to try and take him out. At the same time, Chokanu on the back line, pushing through. It looks like the spearmen going to be able to take out the majority of the siege here, doing a decent job, but the question's going to be whether there's too many battering rams. It definitely seems like it might be the case. So many rams, and the push continues coming through. Nest of Bees just funneling in over and over and over again. Puppy Paw starting to lose more and more units. The True Canoe working very well here with the Palace Guards. The absence of men-at-arms for Puppy Paw is definitely noted. There's no armored units, and by the same token, there's no crossbowmen to deal with the armored units of his enemy. The armored units would absolutely destroy these Chokanu, and he's just got absolutely nothing. Horseman going to be running in right now, but it's just not what he needs. He needed a men-at-arms switch. He needed something different. Unfortunately, this feudal age isn't going to be able to do anything, these feudal age compositions, and he does tap out. Marine Lord going to be pulling out the victory here on Basin. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. Make sure you check out these creators. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch them. Make sure you check out the Red Bull Wall of Law. It's happening this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. I'll catch you guys in the next one.